Job done for Ipswich Town in the FA Cup 3-0 winners at Bracknell. A tough old hour, but they got there in the end, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, I think job done sums that up tonight. Ipswich had to wait till the 65th minute to get the breakthrough. But once it felt like that breakthrough was coming, it did come. And then once the first goal went in, the floodgates were open. It finished 3-0. If that game had gone on longer, then plenty more goals would have come against the tiring non-leaguers. But they can hold their heads high, I think, both in the way that they put tonight on as an occasion and the way they performed, I think.
Yeah, a great occasion. It's a great occasion now. Ipswich have navigated it safely through to round 2. But yeah, a great occasion. We were promised kind of a festival atmosphere here by the owners of Bracknell, and that's what they delivered. The music's only just kind of been turned down a little bit. Some good food, good music. People packed around right up against these metal bars all the way around the ground, 10 or so deep. It was really good to see, wasn't it? You've got your tinfoil FA Cups. The TV cameras were here hoping for the upset, and at times it felt like maybe it could come, but I think ultimately Ipswich, they dealt with it pretty well.
Yeah, I think it took Ipswich 20 minutes, half an hour to just feel their way into this game, this occasion, get used to what was quite a tight pitch, a different type of playing surface, not a horrendous playing surface, but a different type. It was wet, a different style of play maybe that they're up against. But once they did, I thought there were signs at the back end of that first half that there was only going to be one team that wins this. A couple of really big chances. Not that we saw much of them. Over the shoulder of cameraman Ross, we were sat. He's going to just turn around, sort of in the corner of this stand here. You'll see some seats that say ITV on them. They had Ian Wright and Darren Bent in them in the first half. Substitution at the break. Bent and Wright off. Watson and Warren on. They decided that their view wasn't great and they went somewhere else. I don't know where in the second half, and we jumped in their seats and saw a bit more of it in the second period. But Ipswich, I think, had some good chances, didn't they, at the back end of that first half. Ladapo forced to save out the goalkeeper. I think Vincent Young had a really good chance inside the box. I felt like that goal was always going to come. Did you?
Yes. It was Town's left side that was the threat tonight. Left side is where it was going to happen, is where it did happen. Came Vincent Young a hand in 2 of the goals. The right side of Bracknell, I thought they tired pretty badly down that, because and you're going to, if you're being probed by it, you've got runners coming up, Vincent Young, Edwards, Ladapo's some decent movement in there, and they got that in that final 20 minutes of the first half, really being tested and stretched, and that kind of came back to bite them a little bit later on when they stopped running at times. They gave everything, and that just gave Ipswich with too much quality and time and space to work. I think the substitutions were good at good times. Another example of just the respect that Kieran McKenna gave this game, much like the starting lineup. I think they picked a good side that was able to feel their way into the game. I almost think that might have been intentional, just to feel your way into it, not to be shocked by anything, to be able to absorb and work out what you're going to be hit with, and they managed to do that pretty well. So it wasn't a great Ipswich Town performance, but I don't know if it ever was going to be. But they got everything that they needed from this game and moved on. Happy enough with that.
Yeah, Vincent Young's cross forced the own goal that gave Ipswich the breakthrough. Then Kyle Edwards set up Freddie Ladapo, whose little hot streak in front of goal continues for 2-0, and then 2 subs combined for the third breakaway from a set piece into the Ipswich box, and Wes Burns squares for Panucci Kamara, who looked like a very popular goal scorer by the way the Ipswich players celebrated with him, someone who's obviously having a bit of an impact off the field, so that was nice to see as well. 3-0 it finished, Ipswich are through, and we know their opponents for the next round because the draw was made before kick-off, and it's another non-league side.
Yes, Buxton at home at Portman Road, crucially. Different to this tie, obviously. Similar test, different venue. Assistant manager at Buxton is Tommy Miller. So a nice little wrinkle in that one. But
let's hope it doesn't go to penalties.
Maybe he'll play and take one. But in all seriousness, it's a path to round 3 for Ipswich, isn't it? And that's the first goal. They've not done that as a League One club, so it's there for them now. they've set it up by getting through and getting the job done tonight.
Yeah, job done for Ipswich, lot to like. I thought Cameron Humphreys is worthy of another mention tonight before we wrap up. Good to see Kane Vincent-Young getting some minutes under his belt. Ipswich through to round 2. I've got Buxton later this month, but before then it's a home game against Cheltenham Town on Saturday, back in League One action. We'll see you then.